language is very much like, so if you are a politically correct person, somebody who feels like we should watch our language, we should like be respectful and all that kind of stuff, right? So you will find this session comfortable. It's going to be interesting, I promise you, but you may not find it comfortable. And if you are a closet Ronuku, a one Nigerianist that possibly takes everything, that everything can easily just fight through your head, right? This is possibly not for you as well, all right? But for the regulars, it is just the same plain temple of truth, a place where you are going to find the obvious, the factual happenings in the contraption in Nigeria, and including the names of perpetrators, the players, those who are involved in all of the madness going on in that place, especially those in government and their minions. The last 2 weeks have been very much, uh, loud in Nigeria, especially when the American president, Donald Trump, reacted to numerous petitions, appeals, and orders from the victims of the genocide going on in Nigeria. Now, in reaction to that, a lot of people have decided to define what a genocide is, while many are living in denial of it. While others as well are twisting the entire intention of why America is getting involved. But things continue to evolve. A lot is happening. Tinubu and this gang believes that they are pretty much like in control of this whole thing by maintaining a graveyard, nuclear, sort of like a graveyard silence, no clear-cut diplomatic, solution yet. But like I said, a lot is unraveling. While those sponsored by government continue to remind us or trying to educate us what a genocide means, as others are saying, oh, there are also Muslims, okay, being killed by these terrorists, which is true. But the Christians who have raised the alarm for years seems to have finally been heard. So rather than try to shut them down, how about you kind of add your voice for the killed Muslims too? But who are those killing them? These terrorists. So Tinubu and his gang are busy trying to convince the world that there is no genocide going on in Nigeria, while the rest of the world seem to have the true record of what is going on. The terrorists doing all of these, in number, they're like 22 of them, 22 different terrorist groups operating in northern Nigeria alone. And tens of thousands of Christians, Nigerians have been slaughtered. If the cries of the survivors, the Christians in Nigeria that has become so loud like this, could get this loud. Imagine if the Muslims in Nigeria generally, like I'm not saying all of them, like generally just kind of like a speak up to add their own voice. But rather, there are those who have made it their own responsibility to twist what this American coming or whatever view is all about. A lot of conspiracy theories have been developed, and good. Like I said, White Tinubu is trying to deviate and trying to deny the existence of this genocide, the mass killings of Nigerians in Nigeria by the Islamic jihadists. Today, no, rather, yesterday, ISIS. That will sound familiar. Excuse me. That will sound familiar to Donald Trump because during his first term as the president of America, right? He, as part of his own achievements, he brags of destroying the ISIS in the Arab Peninsula. But since Donald Trump left, right, and then the increase in terrorism in Nigeria skyrocketed, that too need a context as well, okay? So when Donald Trump was the president of America, then he was talking about these killings in Nigeria. Okay, so then he actually designated Nigeria as a country of particular interest because of these killings. All right. So their intention then was to mount pressure on Boko Haram's regime so as to actually really go after the terrorists instead of doing this Operation Safe Corridor. Operation Safe Corridor is the arrangement Boko Haram put in place that allowed these, Boko Haram terrorists and other terrorists to walk away, right, without trial, without anything, other than just to hold the Quran and say they won't do it again. So that was the arrangement of the Nigerian army, Nigerian government, and these terrorists. So America designated Nigeria that Nigeria was a country of particular interest because your government is collaborating with terrorists rather than, and also they discovered that there was actually no real intention of returning the displaced people, millions of them at the time, returning them back to their homes. There was no real concrete plan. While the Fulani terrorists, who were just emerging at the time, were also gaining foothold. So if America's CPC had lasted for, let's say, 2 years, there is a possible chance that the Fulani terrorism advancement wouldn't have gotten to this stage. There's a chance because what they are proposing to Tinubu right now was what they would have done to the Boko Haram. Then Donald Trump lost and Joe Biden came in. Within 2 months of Joe Biden or thereabout, he removed Nigeria's name from that CPC, meaning the Nigerian officials, local government officials, governors, all of them who are supposed to have been outed as terrorist sponsors, they just got away for a few more years. Now, that is what is about to happen now if America should go ahead. America is not going to come to Nigeria in a week, you know what I mean? Not like that. What America is asking your government to do, which is what they are giving them the grace of right now, is what they ask Boko Haram to do. Because with this CPC, America will have the opportunity to actually not go after the terrorists alone. They will go after their sponsor, including those of them who are in government. So this is what APC is trying to ward off and hope that this COP will pass. No matter what their media is trying to present to you in Nigeria, here I will do my best to bring together, right, the entire factors to all of this and the players too, who is saying what, when, so that you can then be the judge. So let's go back to the denial. The Tinubu's regime are spending possibly tens or hundreds of millions of dollars on lobbyists in America right now to see how they can get closer to Trump and maybe, ask for time. But it is not even about the time they will give them. It is the political will of them really doing this. The whole thing has overwhelmed them. The military is compromised. Intelligence is compromised. Everything is more or less like everybody's just doing what they can within the space of what they can. You get what I mean? There is no real concrete hand-on of Nigerian government, Nigerian military. And when I say Nigerian military, I'm talking about the entire Nigerian military structure. The army, the navy, the air force, and the rest of them, right? So it's like everybody's just doing whatever they want to do. Things have gotten out of hand. There are more vested interests now. So what time are they asking from America to give them? So here is what will happen. So once they realize that, apart from the media jumping from one media house to another, once America realizes that indeed nothing is actually really happening, or, oh, listen, the government of Nigeria think this is just about going on and shooting some terrorists and then doing a peace meeting with the others and doing the exact thing they are doing right now. They may think this is what will get them out of it. No, it's not. The terrorists continue to kill people even as we speak. They don't give a shit. The government officials at the local level, in Katsina, in Zamfara, in all these places, local level, they are doing peace meetings with these terrorists. Now, it is being said that the terrorists are beginning to actually flood into Kano from Katsina now, right? They will cross the Shinono, I'll be waiting to record that place, Shinono or something, right? They will cross that place into Kano attack the neighboring communities who are like the rural, all those areas, and then they'll run back to Katsina. So this whole thing is still going on, whatever Nigeria is saying in the media. So what will then happen is that America will probably just want you to know the real terrorist sponsors. It won't cost them anything. They'll put out the names, put out their faces. Not only that, that's a promise that strikes will take place without any warning. You just know that, they struck about 10, 15 places yesterday. Or people will begin to notice that they are noticing that there are some bombings taking place and it wasn't like Nigerian government. All of this will happen in quick succession. All right. Still very much on out if number and his gang and does it. So they are denying. On the other hand, ISIS. Yes, ISIS. ISIS, that same ISIL, popular Islamic State. In Nigeria and part of these West African countries, including the Sahel going up north, you have the Janjaweed, you have ISWAP, you have Boko Haram, you have Lakurawa. 22 of them have made Nigeria a base as we speak. And they are actually telling us that no matter what we are witnessing right now, it's still a child's play. Like you are still going to witness a serious onslaught beyond what they are doing in those communities and all that, right? So the only two rivals right now, when Boko Haram divided, this is ISWAP, and then the remnants of the Boko Haram after the demise of Alhaji Shekau. Now, they have been battling. These two groups have been killing themselves. Two terror groups. So there used to be one, right? They have been killing themselves along that Lake Chad for some time now. That was how Alhaji Shekau got killed as well, right? Now, this ISWAP that is simply, it's an abbreviation for Islamic State of West Africa Province, ISWAP. Now, the ideology of the ISWAP is even worse than that of the Boko Haram, if you must know. And they are very much affiliated to the ISIS. They supposedly destroyed ISIS, which I believe will probably be one of the things that will attract Donald Trump to act fast, hearing ISIS. ISIS. Yes, they have ISIS. Now, ISIS have come out to say, listen, guys, I don't know why these idiots are denying what is obvious. Yes, there is a Christian genocide in Nigeria. And of course, if America should get involved. Now, they have this publication, okay? This publication in Arabic, all right? I did something. I'm going to show you. Give me a sec. So this message in all of this is a message to all the terrorists all over the world. It's like a clarion call. So what ISIS is saying is that indeed they are carrying out mass Christian genocide in Nigeria because they are Zionists. They are infidels, the Kafiris and all that, right? So until Nigeria and this West Africa, in fact, the rest of the world become Islamic. Do you know what I did? Let me see if I can share my screen quickly, right? So I put this on Grok. Grok is AI on X, right? So I put this on, I put a picture, the original picture, and I'm going to do that again now quickly. So I put the original picture, which has it's like a cutout newspaper print. Do you get me now? So I put a picture on Grok and I said, please interpret the sentences in this image expertly to English language without repetition or at least readable, right? So I'll do that on the screen with you quickly. Now, the message herein is not just to take responsibility. Are you with me? They are sending out words to the other fighters who are Muslims. They call them Muslim, like the jihadists. All right. For the rest of them to remember the teachings of the Prophet, as well as Allah. And the infidels. I wish I could read all of that to you, right? But take a look. That's it. The Muslim army set out from Medina towards Badr, while the Quraysh army advanced from Mecca. The two sides met near wells of Badr. The prophet, peace be upon him, consulted his companions and they pledged allegiance to fight to the death. The police forces numbered nearly 1,000, equipped with horses, the blah. So interpreting. However, in Nigeria, where these killings have been taking place, and not only the clerics, you see, those who identified as Muslims are being cajoled into believing that coming for this murderous terrorist is actually an attack on Islam. How they've managed to actually get people to believe that in this day and time, I do not know. So they are telling people that the American president said if Nigeria failed to act fast and take out these terrorists that we now believe are also killing Muslims, why should any Muslim, reasonable one, be angry? Because when you go out and protest against a strike against the terrorists who are also killing your own brothers, what you're doing is that you are protesting in support of the terrorists against a superior power that could out them. In that text, the ISIS said, this is going to spell the doom for America. In this text, okay? They didn't call America America, they call America Zionist. So ISIS said, America should get involved. They are welcome. They should come and throw their bombs, right? Because in fact, what they are doing to America right now is to overstretch American military might. You understand? That America is fighting here, is fighting them there, is fighting them here, is fighting them all over the place. Now they can draw America to Africa. So America can start using their weapons and everything here too. So that at the end of the day, their business and their goal is to decimate America and destroy America finally. So yeah, they have claimed responsibility for the killings in Nigeria, no denial. And right now, they welcome Americans' involvement. They are not wanting them to stay away. They are saying, no, you should come. Now you can have your soldiers here too. You can deploy, you get what I mean? So how is America going to reply? It's only time that will tell. Possibly not in my own hands, not in yours. In Kano, the Shiites who have suffered greatly in the hands of the APC, starting from the days of Bokwari. But they took to the street yesterday, right? Demanding that, death to America, death to this and that, like they are. As usual, they were burning American flags, okay, in protest against America's involvement in fighting terrorism in Nigeria. You get that now? Like, America is coming to come and steal your crude oil. They are coming to steal all your resources. We don't want America. We can take care of our problems. This is coming from the people who claim that more Muslims have been killed than Christians. And also, this is also a group that, because of their own belief, because of their own faith, the Shiites, that you can call the Shia Muslims, they have suffered greatly in the hands of the Fulani, Bokwari, and his gang separately. Because guess what? The Shiites have always been like doing procession, like, lining the streets in their large numbers and all that, right? Until one day in 2015, when in Kaduna, in Zaria, the Shiites, they were doing their procession. The then chief of army staff, Buratai Dibuja, was coming in his convoy. Then he got to these Shiites and possibly felt intimidated enough that it felt like they blocked him from going, and they are like national security threats. When he came down from his car, nobody hurt him, nobody did anything per se, other than they slowed him down. So when he came down from his car, addressed these Shiites, right? And, went back into his car and he drove off in his convoy safely. Few hours later, the nearby barracks in Kaduna